Nancy rents an expensive hotel room and books a man. At the same time, Leo has a cup of coffee in the cafe across the street and goes on a date with a new customer. When he meets the woman, he pays her a couple of compliments and tries to win her over. Realizing that Nancy is too uptight, the guy offers to drink champagne and talk a little. She feels uncomfortable about her age and constantly reminds him of it. Leo is not at all embarrassed by this, because he has had older women. Nancy is a decent and well-mannered woman who, until recently, worked as a schoolteacher. All her life she had been a model mother and wife, but 2 years ago her husband died and her children began their own lives. When she retired, she realized that most of her life's journey was over, but she had never been able to enjoy herself in bed. After renting a hotel and ordering a man on call, she hopes for the first time to achieve the joy she knows only from books. Increasingly conversing with Leo, the woman is embarrassed, because up to this point she considered his work unacceptable, low, and disgusting. At the same time she does not want to continue the conversation and wants to get down to business as soon as possible, enjoying the body of a young handsome man. Leo doesn't mind getting down to business and kisses the woman to loosen up a bit, to release her inner shackles and excessive feelings of fear. Nancy is afraid that she is not capable of arousing the guy and suggests that he take a pill. But he is confident that he can manage without them. Realizing that intimacy is inevitable, the woman runs to the bathroom to clean up and change her clothes. At the same time, Leo undresses and assumes a comfortable position. Nancy doesn't come out for a long time, and he decides to have a snack, finding a candy bar in the minibar. Soon she returns to the bedroom, but she is repulsed by the smell of the candy bar, and the guy needs to brush his teeth. A minute later, Leo realizes that the problem is not the candy bar, but Nancy herself. Afraid of intimacy with another man, she changes her mind and is willing to pay for the encounter without its logical continuation. Leo reassures the woman because her action is not a momentary weakness, but a deliberate and carefully considered decision. 30 years of her intimacy have been equally boring, and now is the last chance to change anything. The couple lie down under the covers, continuing to get to know each other more and more intimately. Nancy understands that the young man is not stupid and educated, so she does not understand why he needs this job. Leo is not at all embarrassed, because it is his conscious choice, which allows him to feel needed and wanted. At the same time, he does not confess to his mother and deceives her by telling her that he works on an oil rig. Nancy has 2 children, a reckless daughter and a responsible son who goes to university. The woman finds them boring, for they, like their mother, are too proper. To excite Nancy, Leo decides to find out about her husband's behavior before intimacy. It turns out that he was the woman's only partner, and had been doing the same thing for 30 years. She had never had any fondling or experimentation, for everything had happened exactly as it had the day before. Feeling dissatisfied, Nancy sheds a tear and admits that she has always wanted to surprise a man, wanted to give pleasure, and receive it in return. As a teenager, she met a waiter and hoped that he could make her happy, but chance witnesses prevented it. Noticing that Nancy had relaxed, Leo kisses her and does his thing, diligently earning his money. During the second meeting, the woman feels more free and relaxed. She is not embarrassed by Leo, and she communicates with him calmly. At the same time, a measured teacher lives inside her, and as you know, habit is second nature. That is why she has prepared a wish list of 5 items. Nancy would like to put them into practice as soon as possible, starting with her first and most difficult challenge. Noticing that the woman is still a bit uptight, the guy asks her to let go of her inner shackles and feelings of judgment. She realizes that many nuns have more experience than she does, so she is ready to get down on her knees and please the man. Unbuckling her belt, Nancy is afraid of not satisfying Leo. But he reassures her, for he will only be disappointed if she bites off his buddy. The moment is spoiled by a sudden phone call. Her daughter has a sudden problem and needs to talk to her mother, to get valuable advice and support. When she returns, she is ready to continue what she has begun, but Leo offers to dance and relax a little. During the dance, Nancy becomes less and less embarrassed, begins to smile, and feels free. The couple is interrupted by another call from their daughter, ruining the romantic atmosphere. Nancy is tired and doesn't want to answer. Leo is ready to pick up the phone and say that mother's mouth is busy, but the woman is not satisfied with that option. Having dealt with her daughter, she is ready to kneel again and demands to continue. Leo takes his time and offers a massage. Pressed against the guy, the woman feels his muscles and asks him to take off his shirt. She admires the man's flawless body and feels uncomfortable again. Her breasts touch her belly button and her hips have lost their former shape. Putting Nancy in front of the mirror, the guy teaches the woman to love herself for who she is. To make the teacher relax a little, he suggests role-playing, but Nancy is not thrilled with the idea. Realizing that the idea is silly, the woman begins to cry and does not want to take off Leo's pants. After telling her about the other clients, the call guy relaxes a stiff Nancy, and she ventures into more explicit things. On the third meeting, the woman behaves liberated and lets the guy satisfy her with sweet kisses. She still can't get satisfaction, but she doesn't want to fake it. Crossing the second item off her wish list, Nancy wants to get to know Leo better. He is against excessive frankness, because there are boundaries of personal space, crossing which is strictly forbidden. As it turned out, Nancy decided to find out Leo's real name, and by digging around on the internet she was able to do so. Upon learning of this, the guy gets very angry and starts packing up. He no longer wants to continue the meeting and will never return to this room. Nancy feels guilty and apologizes because she just wanted to be closer to each other, and she is willing to say her real name. Leon is not interested in listening to this, as the woman got in where she shouldn't have. As it turned out, when he was a teenager, he and other high school students had an adult party, and his mother caught them doing it. From that day on, she abandoned her son, telling acquaintances that he was dead. Feeling abandoned, Leo left home for good, and supports himself by working as a callboy. Connor, Leo's real name, he is forever dead and gone. The guy leaves, but returns a minute later to find his smartphone. He does not find the phone, which causes Leo to have a fit of rage, to which the neighbors and the hotel receptionist react. After finding the smartphone under his chair, the guy says goodbye to Nancy for good, and leaves, promising to pay back the money for this date. On the fourth encounter, a woman orders a call boy again, and waits for him in a hotel cafe. She recognizes one of the waitresses as Becky, a former student who has behaved inappropriately at school. Afraid of appearing frivolous, the woman says she's waiting for a guy she's going to sell her car to. After waiting for Leo, she thanks him for meeting her and apologizes for her inappropriate behavior. Nancy recommends the guy to her friends, and she is not afraid to reveal her real name. Feeling trusted, Leo is also told about the past and the mistakes he has made. Not wanting to be hypocritical, Nancy calls Becky up to her and tells her that Leo is not a customer, but a wonderful man she has been seeing for a month. Even now she's rented a room, and she's ready for joy with the young guy. School morals and moral lessons are behind her. Now Nancy has learned that she needs to know how to live and enjoy life. Having made the right conclusions, she asks Becky to think with her head and not to be afraid of hidden desires. Pleasure is not a sin, but a miracle that everyone should experience. After leaving the cafe, Nancy and Leo go to their room to enjoy each other once again. After doing this, they decide to rest and recuperate for a while. Looking at the naked guy, the woman begins to caress herself and for the first time get joy. At the end of the date, both realize that this was their last meeting. Nancy was able to realize her desire and to fully experience pleasure, so she is ready to say goodbye to the young guy. Left alone, she looks at herself in the mirror again, and for the first time she does not see any flaws in herself, does not feel fear, and does not pinch herself with complexes. Being yourself and accepting yourself as you are, that is the main happiness. This is the end of the movie. Thank you all for watching. Like this video, write in the comments what you think of this movie, and see you on the channel.